Update 2. The jokes write themselves when it comes to my brother and his wife. They are both a joke, so they are very funny right now. All I'm about to tell you is information I learned against my will. A couple of nights after my ex came over, I was buying some snacks at a store when my brother angrily confronted me. He publicly accused me of conspiring with his wife because he heard she had come over to my house. I still don't understand how he found out, but let's make sure I was kicked out a few days later. I found out they were actually getting divorced, thanks to her, which was a good move, and he had kicked her out of his house. Apparently, she didn't agree with being kicked out, so she decided to start a smear campaign against him, telling people he was crazy and had a split personality. My phone would not stop ringing with people asking about my brother. I eventually had to turn it off. Someone called me and said she would come over to his house to see him and then tell me how well or bad things had gone. When she got home, there were bottles everywhere, and he was passed out on the couch. No alcohol helps his condition. The place smelled horrible and looked like she had been surviving on takeout for days. She woke him up and told him to go take a shower. He was dazed but listened to her. She then cleaned up what she could and made him a sandwich with what little she found in the fridge. When he finished showering, she joined this person in the kitchen, and they talked. The truth was her life was pretty much ruined. Nothing would be left if she went through with the divorce. She would be left with nothing because there wasn't much left for a lawyer. She had just found out her bank account was in the red, and that led her to make the post. He got her reported and removed for harassment, but the damage had already been done. It makes sense that my ex wants a divorce and not an annulment, although at this point, there isn't much to divide unless they liquidate all of their assets. The amount of things I have to tell you, between jokes I have and things I have found out, is overwhelming. I first started approaching my ex and asking her about the divorce. I was really stressed out because even if she gets a divorce, she wasn't going to get any money. I probably dropped some hints that I would be there for her after the divorce. No, I'm not thinking of getting back together with her. Keep reading. Shortly after, there was an auction of my brother's assets held by the bank. I bought his favorite car, the one he bragged about and took my ex-wife on a date with. I sent him pictures of us in the vehicle, and he just lost his mind. He was crying, saying that he didn't need this at his worst moment. He told me that his life was about to be ruined and that he really needed my help. He asked me to stay away from my ex-wife because she broke us up, and it would only bring more problems. I told him that I didn't care about my ex-wife. I just drove her around so I could take the picture for my brother. After I dropped her off at her house, and even though she thought we were on a date, I blocked her. It's been a little joke next to what happened months ago. He called me and texted me nonstop, some asking me for forgiveness as a brother. I just told him to get help because his mental problems were going to cause him more pain. And you know what he said? That he didn't have any mental problems. He just got kicked out of high school for having done some mischief. When they took him to a psychologist for his bad behavior, he just decided to say that he had other voices in his head just to get out of the problem. It was something he had read and thought it could help him. That's why he had a recovery and looked normal. He didn't even take his medication. He just spit it out shortly after pretending to have swallowed it in front of my parents. At this moment, I would tell you that I am very surprised, but I always knew he was an idiot. The difference is that before, I thought he was a mentally unstable idiot, but now he is just a plain idiot, one who even. Now comment update to tag you on part 3.